azares del destino o no, habéis llegado hasta mí. Bienvenidos a Mundo Gamer. Habla amigo y entra.
Hola a todos, bienvenidos, soy Huganeus y bienvenidos a Gothic 2 una vez más para continuar la historia donde la dejamos por última vez. Habíamos hecho recorrido el camino desde la torre de Shardas hasta la ciudad, habíamos hecho muchas cositas, nos convertimos en paladín y esto nos llevó al monasterio, donde está Milton y tenemos que hablar con él un par de cosas.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garon's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that, but I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
Yes, sure. Here's the key.
Bien, entramos en el monasterio. Bien. Vamos a ver qué tenemos por aquí.
What are you planting here?
We're trying to grow healing plants that Master Neoras can use to brew potions.
So, how's it going?
Oh, thank you for your concern, Sir Paladin. I enjoy the work and I am certain to be selected as a magician soon.
Never change. Who told you that? He really should have known better.
You'd better watch out who you tell that to.
I've got no
I
time
see
for
that you
things
have
like
decided to fight on our side. I am glad.
Never
We
would've
can use
thought.
every man. You should go speak directly to
I used
Marduk.
to say that myself.
He is responsible for you paladins.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
Have you got anything else for me?
Yes, as a member of the library, you are given the key to the library.
Who told
There you will
that?
find brothers Karas and Highgrass. If you like, you can speak with them
no
there.
time for things like that.
May
Nothing's ever
Innos
gonna
protect
change
you.
that.
Same old thing all over again.
That's
How are the
totally
sheep?
obvious.
How do you think they are? They stand around and munch grass. I'd rather know what's happening outside.
Cause more
The
trouble.
magicians seem to be very nervous.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Strangers in black robes roam the countryside.
Have enough.
What do you mean? What sort of strangers?
Nobody knows where they've come from. They wear long black robes and they cover their faces. They seem to be some kind of magician. At least they're capable of magic.
That sounds very disturbing, but I'm sure that the High Council will solve this problem.
Path of virtue.
There are dragons in the Valley of Mines. They are besieging the royal troops together with the army of orcs.
Dragons? I always thought they only existed in horror stories.
They're there, believe me.
But the King's Paladins will deal with them, won't they?
We'll see.
Could have told you that before.
I used to say that myself.
So it says in the scriptures.
What with? Hey!
The honorable warriors of Innos rarely stray into these rooms. What can I do for you?
You should have known better.
I couldn't get away with that.
What exactly is your job?
It is my responsibility to train mages in the art of spherical manifestation.
What does that mean?
Well, I teach them how to summon creatures or beings from other states or spheres. This is usually called summoning, although this expression alone is insufficient for the art of calling a servant. Furthermore, I own some interesting spell scrolls which Gorax does not have.
How are your studies coming along?
The enemy has many faces. Which of them presents the greatest danger for the monastery is awfully difficult to determine.
Show me your wares.
Vale. Anillo del invicto. Este me lo quiero pillar porque así tengo 2 anillos del invicto y estoy todavía más fuerte. Hechizos para convocar criaturas o transformarse en ellas. No me hacen mucha falta, la verdad. Sin embargo, ahora me quito el anillo del agua. A ver. Y me pongo el otro anillo del invicto. Por lo que tendré 4 contra la magia, 4 contra fuego, 6 contra flecha, 6 contra arma, más 8 de cada uno también gracias al amuleto. O sea, ahora estoy bastante rotito, aguanto bastante daño. Vamos a seguir echando un ojo en la biblioteca. Oh, qué chulo. A ver si se puede ganar experiencia con alguno de estos libros.
Hey!
I am Master Highglass, guardian of the fire and keeper of the knowledge.
What are you studying, Master?
My research focuses on fire, the power of Enos. It is his gift and at the same time a mighty weapon, and I create runes which contain his power.
Any news?
Yes. Well, you've probably noticed those black-robed figures.
I've met them.
This brings us to the core of the matter. At the moment, we're observing a very rare constellation of stars. To be more exact, the sign of the ox currently stands in direct correlation with the sign of the warrior. I suppose you know what that means.
Well, to be honest...
Yes, I see. Well, I cannot explain the entire background to you now, but it definitely signifies a great change, and I do not like change. Therefore, I want you to get me a book from town. It's called The Divine Power of the Stars. You may have to rummage around for it a bit, but I'm sure you'll find it.
Ese libro lo tiene Zurich, si no recuerdo mal.
I'll see whether I can find it.
That's good. It frees up my time so I can follow some other trails as well. But don't take too much time.
Found anything out yet?
No, I'm still waiting for that.
Bien, continuamos.
Welcome, my son. Since when are you one of the paladins?
Enos deals out fair punishment.
Only for a short time.
Then I bid you welcome. In this battle we need every man who has the courage to oppose evil. The fate of us all lies in the hands of men like you. May Enos ever give you the courage you need.
What's your job here?
I prepare the paladins for their fight against evil.
I've got no time for things like that.
What is evil?
Evil is everywhere. It is the power of Beliar, the eternal adversary of Enos. It is the all-encompassing blackness which seems to blot out the light of Enos forever. Beliar is the lord of darkness, of hate, and of destruction. Only those among us in whose hearts burns the holy fire of Enos will bear the radiant light of Enos into the world and banish the darkness.
Easy as that.
But there are only magicians and novices living in the monastery.
That is correct, in contrast to our community which honors the word of Enos. The paladins honor the great deeds of our Lord above all else. We are the representatives of Enos, but the paladins are his warriors, who go into battle in his name and increase his glory.
You don't have to ask me that.
Is there anything you can teach me?
I am an expert in the magic of ice and the magic of thunder. I can teach you their power. However, I only instruct magicians.
That's no secret.
Any news?
The enemy has apparently already entered the city.
What do you mean?
One of the paladins, Lothar, was murdered in the street. In broad daylight, it has gone too far, but I fear that is only the beginning.
You should have known better.
Bennett is innocent. The witness lied.
How do you know that?
I have found proof.
Sometimes I think that treason and greed are our greatest enemies.
What's going to happen now?
A murder, moreover, of a paladin is without doubt one of the worst crimes there is. The murderer will undoubtedly be sentenced to death.
I've got no time for things like that.
For Inos, brother. If you have come to learn something about the consecration of the sword, then ask Marduk. May Inos...
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Nobody wants to know. It was his decision, wasn't it?
You don't have to ask me that.
Hey!
What can I do for you?
Have you got anything interesting for me?
No.
Could have told you that before.
How's it going?
I thank Inos that I can be here in the monastery.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
Can I be of assistance to you?
What's your task here?
My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar, and I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything you need, you can always come to me and get it.
I need a...
No es que tenga muchas cosas interesantes, pero este no está mal, pero es para magos o novicios. Luego tenemos hechizos muy típicos, nada que me interese. Llave del portal del monasterio de Inos, pues pillamos la llave. ¿Qué más? Mapa de los altares de esto ya tenemos también. Hechizos sencillos de daño, pues no los quiero. Pequeña tormenta de fuego, este sí lo quiero. Pequeña tormenta de fuego, esto me cuadra mejor. Bien. ¿Y el anillo que hacía? Bonificación de maná, nah, eso nada. Bien, no está mal. Vale, sigamos preguntando.
Only Inos decides what's right or wrong.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
What are you doing here?
I must not speak with you. It's not looked on with favor if we talk to strangers.
That's no
That doesn't sound terribly happy.
Well, I mean, everything is just fine, really. Only, I don't want to complain.
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
And you really won't tell the magicians?
Do I look like I would?
All right. I have a problem with one of the novices. He's got a hold over me.
Come on, spit it out then.
Igaraz, that's the novice, found some of my private papers. He threatened to give them to the magicians if I don't do what he says.
Maybe I can help you.
You would do that?
Well, that depends, of course.
Naturally, I'd pay you for that.
How much?
Of course, I don't have much money, but I could give you a spell scroll. I have a healing spell.
I'll see what I can do.
Honestly, it just has to work. It has to. So, you only need to find out where Igaraz keeps the stuff.
Relax. You just continue for now. I'll see to the rest. Are you satisfied with your task?
It's all right, but I need to get back to work. I don't want to work half the night again in order to... You should have known better.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
again.
You can't go on like this forever.
We need to talk about Babo.
Yes? What's wrong?
You've got something which belongs to Babo.
What might that be?
A few papers. Babo would like them back.
He would, wouldn't he? I can imagine. Unfortunately, I prefer to keep them, which brings us to a bit of a dilemma.
Where have you got the papers?
Well, of course I don't have them on me. I'm afraid I can't help you further.
Where are they?
I have them safely locked up, and you will never get the key from me.
What was Babo supposed to do for you?
If I had known the baby would do it in his pants over a few swamp weeds, then I would have seen to it that someone else took care of the monastery garden.
He's supposed to grow swamp weed?
Of course. Since none of that stuff comes out from behind the barrier anymore, the price in the city has tripled. It could have been a good bargain for everyone involved. But Babo didn't want to play along.
That's totally obvious.
Enos deals out fair punishment. There's more, believe me.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Bien, ya tenemos los papeles de Babo,
Can't rely on that.
que si nos fijamos, si no recuerdo mal, a ver,
As if I don't have enough problems.
una carta para Babo,
Enos deals
mira,
out fair punishment.
el mismo dibujo que el del Gothic 1. Agüita con el Babo, ¿eh?
It's easy as that.
Mm,
Things I could tell you.
That's nothing new.
Fed y Bonka,
No idea.
a saber,
Tell me.
pero está interesante.
I never
Vamos a
would-
llevárselos a Babo. Ay, pillín.
Hey! I've got your documents.
Really? Oh, thanks. You've saved me. I don't know how to thank you.
Yeah, just calm down.
Are they really mine? Are you sure? Show me.
Here they are.
Yes, they're complete. Did you look at them?
Does that make a difference?
No, just as long as I have them back. Whew. Now I hope I can rest easy again.
Bien. Vamos a hablar ahora a ver si puedo ver al Pyrocar este para que me cure el maleficio que me echaron.
I think I'm possessed. Can you heal me?
Not without a token of your respect for this monastery, my son. 300 gold coins.
Por supuesto, la iglesia pidiendo dinero, ¿cómo no?
Great. Here's the money.
Here, drink this. May the mercy of Enos be your salvation.
Some citizens of Corinus have mysteriously disappeared.
Take your tribute to Gorax at the monastery at once. He will handle it further.
The same is true for the investigation of the unusual earthquakes in the northeastern regions of Corinus. So far, I have not received notice that our intervention would be required. Therefore, we are not going to take any steps in this matter.
Yes, but...
No buts. We shall proceed as we see fit, and I hope even you are going to respect that.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Dismissed. You know what you have to do.
Any news?
No, nothing which you do not already know, brother.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who did this?
Evil is cunning and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro, the enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with them, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
Bien, pues ya sabemos que tenemos que ir a por el Pedro ese para poder encontrar el ojo de Innos. Puede que nos lleve un poquito de tiempo. Pero bueno, vamos a curar la posesión con lo que me han dado, a ver si lo veo. De tantas cosas. Vale, curar posesión. Menos mal. Vamos a rezar a la estatua de Innos, ya que estamos. A lo mejor como estaba poseído, era que era más difícil matar a los enemigos, no sé. Bien. Vamos a dormir hasta la mañana siguiente y a ver si se puede rezar. Perfecto, maná más 1. Bueno, no está mal. Bien, vamos a ver si podemos hacer algo más por el templo. Que parece que no, pero no sé, por si acaso. No, creo que ya he mirado ya en todas las habitaciones. Bien, vámonos de aquí y vamos a buscar al tal Pedro ese. No sé muy bien por dónde estará, pero bueno.
Hey! Do you know where Pedro is?
Do you think I'd be standing around here if I knew where the renegade was hiding? He must pay for his deeds. I hope we manage to get the eye back. You have to help us. Find him and bring back the Eye of Innos.
Ni idea de dónde está Pedro. Bueno, vamos a ir haciendo otras cositas mientras. Ya encontraremos a Pedro después. Una de las cosas que tenemos que hacer es encontrar los ornamentos de metal para el círculo del agua. Vamos a ver.
Have you seen a novice walk past?
Yeah, sure. He went that away. He jumped into the water off the bridge and swam like a shark was after him.
Huh?
If you're headed for the monastery, you should talk to Milton. He'll surely be able to help you.
What do you think? Would they let me in there at all?
Perhaps, but the way you look, I can hardly imagine you in a novice's robe.
Enough of that nonsense. Novice's robe, indeed. It's the grub I'm after, or I'll be forced to eat the bark off the trees next.
Bien, si seguimos la ruta por la que supuestamente ha escapado Pedro, que se tiró al agua y nadó por aquí, solo pudo haber salido por esta orilla. Vamos a ver qué nos dice esta persona.
What's going on here?
What do you mean?
You're the second fellow to rush past here like he's been stung by blood flies.
Who was the other guy?
He looked like one of those brainy novices from the monastery back there. You can say what you like, but somehow those guys aren't quite right in the head.
Where did the other one go?
He ran up that way like lightning.
I need to get going.
Hey, no problem.
Bien, vamos a suponer... Anda, mira, te iba a decir que Pedro no se fue a lo de los magos del agua, sino que siguió por aquí. Y mira, qué casualidad. Se llama nota. Ok.
Nothing to be had there.
Se llama nota, o sea, no sé si deducir que es Pedro o un novicio a secas, pero bueno, digamos que es una pista en el camino. No me ha dado nada así que digas tú que dé una pista, una señal. Será uno de los novicios que intentó conseguir atrapar a Pedro, pero no pudo. Este camino lleva a una zona del bosque más peligrosilla, así que deduzco que estará por ahí metido. Seguramente nos encontraremos más buscadores, habrá que tener cuidado con ellos. Pero bueno. Seguimos en búsqueda de Pedro. Bien, llevo un rato siguiendo el camino y como podéis ver, siguen apareciendo cadáveres de los novicios. En agüita, se cargó unos cuantos novicios buenos. Así que me imagino dónde va a acabar. Seguro que acabará yendo al círculo de piedras que hay en el bosque por allá. Pero vamos a hablar con este tipo.
The black troll is dead. Nicely done. I never thought those could be killed at all. I won't forget that.
Are you waiting for someone?
I'm hunting. That should be obvious.
Can you teach me how to hunt?
All right. You haven't been much help to me so far, but let's not be too harsh.
Teach me how to...
You already know everything I could teach.
Have you seen a novice pass by here?
A lot of peculiar figures passed by here today, including those two jokers up by the stone arch. A while ago, a novice from the Magicians of Fire was with them as well.
Bien, como podéis averiguar, pues aquí estaba efectivamente el troll negro. Para ser más preciso, el troll negro estaba al fondo de allá. Que es una pena, ojalá hubiese otro, para así quitarle la piel y venderla, que está guay. Pero bueno, allí al fondo en esa cueva estaba el troll negro. El aloe solar estaba por aquí, de hecho, por aquí cerquita. No hace falta matar al troll para conseguir el aloe solar. Bien, vamos al arco de piedra ese donde están los bandidos. Seguramente tendré que matarlos. Y me quedará poco para conseguir alcanzar a Pedro, porque estoy seguro de que está en el círculo de piedras que hay dentro de ese bosque.
It can't go on like this forever.
What are you doing here?
What's it to you?
I'm looking for a novice.
That's very interesting. We're looking for someone too.
Who would that be?
You.
You shouldn't have come here. I'll get you.
Es increíble cómo, a pesar de la armadura de paladín que tengo, que es una armadura bastante tocha, el del mandoble por poco me mata, tío. Increíble, tío, una pasada. Y aparte que tengo los anillos que me protegen y el amuleto que también me protege. O sea, tengo ahora mismo en armas 119 y proyectiles 119. O sea, es brutal la protección que tengo ahora mismo y todavía me siguen partiendo la cara algunas personas. Es increíble. Bien, ojo, ojo. Por allí está el círculo de piedras. Aquí encontré la sajadora de dragones, una espada muy tocha que hasta no tener mucha fuerza no se puede usar. Cuidado porque está llena de esqueletos. Y hay unos guerreros esqueletos muy tochos también ahí. Llevad pergaminos de matar a los muertos vivientes o el de las tormentas estas que hacen daño en área grande, porque está complicada la cosa. Vale, una vez que hemos llegado aquí a este bosque, vamos a encontrar muchos enemigos, así que haré un pequeño corte para intentar matarlos a todos. O intentaré que todos me sigan para lanzar un hechizo de esos de fuego en área y matarlos, ya veré cómo hago. Bien, menos mal que tenía un montón de flechas y que los cogí en un punto ahí que se quedaron como bugueados, porque si no, matarlos a todos habría sido un coñazo. Vale. Listo. El ojo de Inos. Aquí está el ojo de Inos. ¿Y dónde está el puto Pedro? Que me he encontrado ahí un montón de novicios muertos, pero de Pedro ni noticia. Joder, aquí hay otro, no me lo puedo creer.
Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing to plunder. Nothing to plunder. Nothing there. Vale, ahora sí. Nos cabían montones por la cara, tío.
Habían como 3, 4, 5, 6 o 7 buscadores por aquí cerca, no sé. Espero no haberme dejado alguno. Estoy con el arco fuera a ver si pinta que apunto hacia algún otro enemigo, no sea que me falte alguno más por matar. Vale, esta zona de aquí, que es bastante peligrosa, yo maté a muchas de las criaturas de aquí y ahora pues ya no queda nadie vivo. Vamos a activar los mecanismos también para que salga el centinela de piedra, no sin antes buscar al jodido Pedro, que no sé dónde cojones está. Este no es, que ya lo registré ya. Pero por aquí me pareció a mí ver otro cadáver más de un novicio. ¿O fueron cosas mías? Pues capaz que sí, que fueron cosas mías. Sí. Bueno, vamos a activar los mecanismos y a enfrentarnos a la centinela. Ya tenemos el ojo de Inos. Lo que hace falta ahora es llevarlo a... pues a los paladines, supongo, no sé. A ver si encuentro los botoncitos. Vale, es posible que justo este círculo de piedra, justo este, no tenga botones. Porque este círculo de piedra a lo mejor estaba hecho específicamente para el tema de lo del ojo de Inos y ya está. Porque le he dado ya una vuelta y yo botones no veo ninguno por ningún lado. Así que nada, vamos a ver, yo no tenía aquí un mapa de eso, a ver. El mapa de Nefario, donde están los ornamentos del mapa. Amigo, vale. Uno era en la granja de Onar, que ese sé cuál es. Otro en la de Lobar, que ya lo miré. Y otro es aquí más abajo. Ya está. Ya me acabo de situar ya. Total, que al final Pedro, ni idea. Vamos a bajar por aquí abajo. Haré un pequeño corte porque hay unos cuantos bichos chungos que matar hasta llegar al círculo de piedra. Bien. Ya he despejado todo esto bastante de animales. He hecho una limpieza por aquí que vamos, que brutal, impresionante. Vamos a pulsar los botones aquí ahora del círculo de piedras. He aprovechado el corte de ahora de grabación para limpiar todo el bosque o casi todo el bosque. He subido niveles y le he dicho al maestro Constantino que me enseñe a preparar las pociones de vida máxima y de fuerza para aumentar la fuerza máxima. Así que ya las tengo. Bien, vamos a por él. Vale, listo. Bien, a por el centinela. Solo me queda uno que creo que era... A ver... el de la granja de Onar, vale. A ver, ya me he bebido 2 pociones de fuerza, puesto que no me quedan más asederas, aunque aquí se llamen diferentes, pero son las asederas de toda la vida. No me quedan más, así que no puedo hacer más pociones. Podría comerme las hierbas, pero tengo que mirar, cuando termine de grabar, si en los otros mapas de los otros lugares del juego puedo conseguir más asederas. Si las puedo conseguir, me los guardo para poder hacer más pociones, no quiero comérmelos todos. El bosque está impecable, salvo un par de huargos y un orco de élite que creo que me queda por ahí, y una cueva de bandidos que tiene que ver con una misión. He limpiado casi todo. O eso creo. Vale, vamos a ir ahora a la granja de Aquil, que quiero ver si me dicen alguna misión nueva que tiene que ver con los bandidos que hay aquí cerca. Después de la granja de Aquil, quiero hacer un corte para ir a 2 sitios donde hay unos arqueros, unos cazadores, con los que puedo hablar con ellos. Así que vamos a ver. Aquí está la granja de Aquil. Coño, un incursor. Mira tú, pues este no lo había visto.
Nothing to be had there.
Sigo aún sin entender muy bien cómo va el tema de las armas. Con la espada esta, a pesar de que me pide destreza, no meto mucho daño, pero luego seguro que después si subo fuerza seguro que sí. No sé. Vamos a ver si Aquil me dice algo o la mujer.
Everything still fine with you?
We can manage. I just wonder how much longer we're gonna have to endure these devils in black. I can't stand it anymore. They sneak around the house making those funny noises.
Vale.
Hey, you! Is there any other news?
Someone keeps stealing my sheep lately. I haven't been able to sleep properly for nights.
Who could have done that?
I've got a hunch about that. Some really nasty fellows have settled into the caves over in the forest. I find it hard to believe that they're living on berries. I'm almost certain that's where my sheep are disappearing to.
Did anything else happen?
My sheep keep disappearing. Soon I won't be able to feed us anymore.
Vale. Vamos entonces a por esos bandidos que están aquí en una cuevita de aquí cerca. Luego quiero ver a dos cazadores. Uno es el Dragomir, que le faltaba la ballesta, que ya la tenemos. Estaba en el círculo de piedra aquel.
You're still here?
Obviously. Still miffed?
Never mind, forget about it. Say, have you been to Lobart's farm lately?
Maybe. Why?
Oh, nothing important. I just wanted to talk to Vino again about his still.
Still? What still?
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Vino's always been very particular about his little secret. Whatever. Now I've let it slip out anyway. Back in the woods, Vino set up a secret still. A while ago, he asked me to get him something to grease his portcullis with. It's rained a lot recently and the thing rusted shut on him. Now the winch is stuck and no one can get in anymore. What a mess.
And? Have you got the grease?
Yeah, sure. The best there is. Mole rat fat. Terrible stuff, let me tell you. It's even used to grease ships' cannons.
Sell me the grease.
That won't be cheap, pal. It's damn rare in this part of the country.
How much?
100 gold coins.
It's a deal.
All right, here you go. Oh dear, Vino's gonna kill me.
Bueno, eso ya yo lo he descubierto ya. Esto simplemente era por seguir el juego un poco. El alambique de Vino está donde matamos al centinela, ese círculo de piedras. Pues si nos quedamos con la movida de que el centinela me apareció de frente, si seguimos por encima del centinela, pasamos por encima del centinela y seguimos por ahí para adelante, llegaremos a un sitio donde hay unos carros rotos y una cueva. En esa cueva está la manivela que abre una puerta, que es donde hay una fábrica. Tiene ahí el vino, tiene como se está marcando un Breaking Bad el tío ahí haciéndose el vinito. Vale, aquí están los bandidos. No debería suponer mucha dificultad y así recuperamos la oveja.
Hey, you bum. You haven't come about that sheep, have you?
You stole the sheep from Akil the farmer.
So what? What are you gonna do about it?
Give me that sheep or I'll punch you in the eye.
Then look out, boy. All hell's...
Yo, sin embargo, el bandido mete un daño de la hostia. Casi me mata el tío.
Stop right there, you lowlife.
Casi muero aquí todo, a lo tonto. Uy. Bueno, bien, flechitas. Siempre hacen falta flechas, coño. Da igual cuántas flechas compre, siempre me quedo sin flechas. Bien. Pues aquí está la oveja. Ella nos sigue cuando hablamos con ella, nos va a seguir sin ningún problema, pero vamos a coger primero lo de aquí. Ah, pues nada, pues venga. Vamos a llevarle la oveja a Akil.
Come with me.
Y como todo el bosque está despejado, pues no debería haber ningún problema en traerla de vuelta.
I found the sheep rustlers. You were right. Those fellows in the forest cave did it. They'll never steal sheep from you again.
Thank you, noble servant of Innos. Take this as a small token of thanks for...
Venga.
Very good. Here's a few gold...
Did anything else happen?
No. I hope...
Vale. Voy a hacer ahora un corte y vamos a ir a ver a un cazador que está por el otro lado. A ver. Por el otro lado de la montaña que está allí enfrente. Ahora venimos. Vale, este sería el tipo en concreto.
Did you run away too?
What makes you think that?
Why would you come here all alone? There's nothing here.
So why are you here?
I can get a bit of peace up here. I always feel so restricted in the city.
Don't you have to work?
Everything I need I can get for myself. I cut the arrows, and nature provides the meat.
So, you're a hunter?
Yes, if you want to call it that. But I only hunt what I need for myself, not to earn money.
I only wanted to have a look around.
Okay, be my guest. Would you like a piece of meat?
Yes, gladly.
Here, the finest leg of mole rat, according to my own recipe.
In that case, I'm sure you can teach me something.
Why not? I could show you how to handle a bow.
Show me how to handle a bow.
Bien, este tío nos enseña a tirar con arco. Vamos a ver una cosa. A mí tengo 3 puntos de aprendizaje. Venga, vamos a invertirlos en el arco. Venga. 2, 3. Hala. Así me quedo con 0, que es un número más redondo. Vale, ¿qué pasa? Que por aquí arriba en ese montículo también hay unas hierbitas. Por eso no había venido por aquí, porque fuera de cámara ya las había recogido. Bien, entonces, ahora lo siguiente que vamos a hacer es... vamos... ¿Dónde tengo? Aquí. Al puerto. Bien, vamos a llevarle... a la supuestamente hija de Lobart la medicina. No a beneficiárnosla, como dice Batas. Yo no me esperaba que un mago de agua, un siervo de Adanos, me dijera eso. Deberías beneficiártela. Ole, por la puta cara. Después de eso, vamos a una zona de teletransporte que hay cerca de esta salida, no, la otra salida, que nos lleva a la arpía roja. Y ahí hablaremos con Dragomir. Para devolverle la ballesta, que es una misión también que tenemos pendiente, para quitárnosla de encima ya. ¿Qué más cosas tenemos sueltas por ahí que no hayamos hecho? Estoy pensando, tengo que mirar el libro de misiones después de eso para ver qué me queda por hacer. Aunque me da que lo dejaré por aquí. Hicimos todo lo del monasterio, buscamos a Pedro y dimos todas estas vueltas. Hemos hecho bastante, tampoco quiero que el vídeo se me haga eternamente largo. Lo dejaré en la granja de Honor para matar al último centinela y ahí se quedará.
I've got your medicine.
Really? Our society needs more people like you. Thank you so much. I hope that these few...
A ver ahora.
How are you?
A little better already.
Vale. Bien. Hablamos con Lobart.
Hey, you. Watch out for...
I'll try.
Vale. Ah, y hablamos con Vino, a ver si me dice algo del alambique suyo que encontré.
And how's it going for you?
Crappy. Militia found my hidden still. I hope they never find out that it belongs to me.
Bueno. Hacemos un pequeño corte, vamos a la zona de teletransporte y ahora venimos. Bien. La cueva en la que aparecimos, saliendo del templo aquel de las ruinas donde estaban los magos de agua, esta cueva tenía un orco que ya lo maté y un teletransporte que está aquí. Por cierto, no he cogido este cofre. Bien, ¿no? Flechitas, bien, menos mal. Vale. Pues aunque aparecemos ahí adelante, si usamos este teletransporte, llegamos aquí, que hay dentro de aquí otro teletransporte, que aún no lo he usado, ya lo usaré. Pero es el que nos deja en la taberna de la arpía feliz. Vamos a hacer un corte rápido y hablamos con Dragomir y de ahí tiramos para la granja de Honor.
Here, I found your crossbow.
Indeed, this is mine.
Don't tell me you were up by the stone circle.
Most certainly.
That was pretty reckless of you, but thanks anyway. Naturally, I'll repay this deed.
Vale, listo. Tiramos para la granja de Ornar. Y hacemos ahí lo del círculo de piedra. Mira, más de esto. Hacemos un corte aquí y vamos ahora.
Hey, you! Did something happen?
You've got to help me. The Black Robes have invaded my house. The Royal Guard people are supposed to take care of everyone's well-being, right? Those fellas said they were looking for something, but surely not in my house. Please help me make them go away again.
Fíjate, ahora es cuando debería decirle no gracias, contrata a un mozo para eso. Puto. No saben nada.
Everything else all right?
These are bad times. I can't find my sheep. I guess I'll have to fess up to Sekob.
Everything all right with you?
Well, it's so-so. My back hurts from all this hard labor. Usually it's either some cutthroats from the mountains or those horrible malicious soldiers from the city. They've been raiding our farm rather frequently lately.
What are you doing here?
I've been asking myself that for several years. Sekob, my husband, has fallen out with everyone in the area by now. He's in debt everywhere. And so he steals goods from Onars. By now, he's accumulated a fortune with his underhanded dealings. And he works our field hands until their backs break. I'm not particularly proud to call myself the wife of Sekob. Believe me, sometimes I wish the barrier were still in place. Would you like to buy something to eat?
What can you offer me?
What do you want?
Hombre, por lo menos tiene flechas, joder, menos mal. Vale. Vamos a ver qué más.
Barrier?
Well, it's the dome that used to enclose the old Valley of Mines. Many of the farmers and workers who committed a crime back then were simply tossed in there.
Why did the militia attack you on your farms here?
Because there's nobody there to prevent them from simply plundering our farms, and the king is far away, and we just have to put up with working for Onar and hoping that Onar will send help when we...
What does Onar's help look like?
Sometimes we receive warning in advance when some militiamen are planning to pay us a visit on. Then we send somebody to the old landowner to ask him for help, and then usually it doesn't take long for the mercenary. But when all is said and done, the mercenaries aren't much better.
Have you ever been at the barrier?
No, we only heard about it. Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, can surely tell you more about that. His farm is quite close to the pass which leads to the Valley of Mines.
How can I get to Bengar's farm?
Go ask Balthazar. He's our shepherd. He sometimes leads his animals to graze on Bengar's pastures up there. He'll be able to tell you how to get there.
Keep your chin up.
Take care of yourself and don't let...
Bueno, se me está haciendo muy largo este vídeo, vamos a terminarlo ya. Invocamos al centinela de aquí, lo matamos y fuera. Con este ya había hablado ya, creo, ¿no? Sí. Vale, un interruptor. Ahora sí. Hostia, que se cargan los granjeros, tú.
Well done.
Que se cargan los granjeros. Vamos a ver. Listo, ya tenemos todo el ornamento completo. Bien, hasta aquí todo por hoy. Si os ha gustado el vídeo, dadle a like, suscribiros, no olvidéis compartirlo con vuestros amigos. Y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo de Gothic 2, donde iré a la granja de Onar para hablar con Lee y ver cómo va la situación por ahí cerca. Y luego... no sé si empezar a hacer las misiones de los magos de agua o qué. ya iré viendo. Espero que os haya gustado este vídeo y hasta otra.